overall, knowing that some of you had experiences where you got married and some of you didn't, how would we rate this experience? Do we feel like, having gone through this, love is blind, or do you feel like, no, it's not blind? Like, there's maybe blind physically, but like there's a lot more that you need to know emotionally to really connect with somebody.
I think love is blind.
Yeah, love is blind.
Sure. Yeah.
Will you marry me?
Will you marry me?
Will you marry me?
What the?
We're engaged!
Love is
For
blind.
sure.
I think even just with your partner on the other side, but also just like maybe you're blind to some things within yourself, and that's how you learn about things, is going through something like this. You learn so much. So you have like an awakening within yourself on certain things that you've gone through that you may not have noticed about yourself, and maybe faults that you have, and something to learn from. So.
But love is also blindsided, so, there's that too.
There's that too.
I would just say love is blind. Physically, I didn't have any problem, but I think love is not numb. Like, love still feels. So that's my takeaway. Like, physically, yes, 100%, I can see past someone what they physically look like, but I still very much feel.
Raven, when did you feel like SK was somebody that you could see yourself having a real relationship with?
Yeah, I think when we came back to real life, we started living together in Dallas. I got to see really like the progress of our relationship every single day. Every day we were able to communicate more, to combine our lives, our schedules. We went back to work immediately, and I fell in love with him more every day, just feeling like, okay, I could really live this life forever with this man. So after doing that for however long we did up into the wedding, I was ready to go. It really reassured me that, we could start from really, really low and build our relationship to something that I thought was really beautiful.
I mean, I gave you a lot of credit for, willing to to sort of like acclimate yourself to SK's culture, and it's the same thing with Brennan. When did you have a feeling? Did you have a feeling that he was going to say no? It seemed like that was one of the bigger shockers of this group.
I do not.
I knew that it could be 50-50. Like you guys saw, our wedding was first, so we kind of stopped filming and went straight into it. We didn't have a lot of time to talk and really get into it, but like I said, I was in a great place. I knew that he was in a great place, and we both really had the commonality that regardless of what happens, we know what it is and we can make it through anything. So it was kind of timing, right? And it was really timing with our entire relationship, with the move, we had things playing against us, but I knew that it would be okay, but I didn't know exactly what he was gonna say. And I clearly did not prepare myself for that very well.
Have you guys spoken since then?
Oh yeah, we're super good.
Yeah, not together though, still together?
I can't answer that.
Okay, fair enough. You guys obviously hit it off right from the very beginning. Congratulations on getting married.
Do you take him to be your husband?
How is wedded life? Is it great?
It really is. I've said this a few times, but a lot of people say it's the hardest thing that they've ever done. I think it's the easiest thing I've ever done. There was never really a question if we were gonna get married. He proposed every single day. He proposed to me leading up, and it was always a yes. There was never a question in my mind. He really is just the greatest human being on earth, and he has he's funny as fuck. There's a lot more to him. We make perfect sense. I think there's there's painted such a stark contrast between us, but he's the cutie. He's me, and so there was never a question if it was going to be yes or no.
In past series of Love is Blind, we've seen a difference in religion become a really big factor in the relationship, but it wasn't for you guys at all. When did you guys have that? Was that conversation had in the pods? Was it had out of the pods where he said that? I mean, I was surprised. It makes sense, but he was like, "Yeah, I'll convert. Not a big deal. I'm happy to do it."
I think it was day 2, and you can see that conversation. My fundamental part of me is being Jewish. I'm not religiously Jewish, but I am very proud to be a Jew. And that he's not religious, and he was like, "I love that." And I was like, "Our kids are going to be Jewish. cool with that? And he was like, yeah, absolutely. I've seen nothing wrong with that. And he was just really excited. He's like, I love culture. I love learning new things. And, like, let me know what I need to do to make you comfortable with this. If that's converting, like, 100%. And we've revisited a few times, like, with, you know, talking about having kids now. We're just, you know, do we want to do that? And I'm like, I don't want to ever force anyone to do anything. So if that's, like, completely up to you.
How's his shakshuka?
It is better than mine, and it is bullshit.
Come on, man. Come on.
We have had a shakshuka off, and his was way better, which was annoying. I mean, I'm sitting there eating it, and I'm like, God, this is so good. Like, what the f? But no, it was. We have done it, and he's really good shakshuka.
Dad seems to like him. Does he like him more now?
My dad, the day that they met, we did like a whole like toast, like doing shots, and my dad's like, Mazel Tov, welcome to the family, and I'm literally sitting there like, what the f is happening right now? Like, I was confused. Because I thought that was going to be a bigger hurdle than it was. My dad's a very tough individual. I didn't see it being that easy. I knew that my dad would really like him and respect him. Brennan is a very respectable man.
Yeah.
Such a gentleman. And he's very funny, very sarcastic, very similar to my family. And so I knew that they would get along. It was just getting him to accept, like, you know, hey, we're going to get married and, like, you know, tomorrow. So
Yeah.
yeah, so it was weird,
Congratulations.
and everyone just really embraced us, and we were questioning them, like, are y'all okay? Like, y'all are seriously okay with this? And they were. So
Yeah.
it's really incredible.
Well, congratulations. Zanab, you and Cole, you know, I see when you guys are working, when you're clicking, you guys are really, really clicking. And obviously when you're not, it doesn't really work out so great. But from early on, did you guys feel like you were clicking even prior to his conversation and this moment in the pool, and that you guys have sort of hashed and rehashed on the show? Was that as big a blow as it seems like it was on the show?
The reason that we kind of kept revisiting is just the acknowledgement that was wrong and inappropriate on Cole's end. Didn't happen really for weeks. So that's kind of why we kept revisiting it, and I just couldn't put it to bed, because it was like, hey man, you still haven't said, like, hey, this was wrong, or like, while he had apologized to other people, apologized to Colleen and Matt, I still hadn't gotten an apology. So we did revisit it, and it was something that of course seemed like we brought up a couple of times.
Yeah, I mean, and then when we get to the wedding, there's a haymaker.
It's not a gamble, it's a fight for love.
Your side gets up and clears the room. Were there things that we had not seen on camera? I think there's specifically, you say something up to the lines of, like, he'd made advances at women. Was that prior to your relationship? Do you feel like he was making advances during your relationship?
I do believe it was during, from as early on as soon as we got engaged to right up until bachelor party.
Really?
So there was a lot that, you know, the world didn't get to see. I didn't just say no to the Cole that everyone got. I said no to the Cole that I got.
Yeah.
And there was a lot, and I stand by everything I said. Everything I said had a meaning and a reason why I said it. Didn't do it to humiliate him. It was more so just to be factual and hope that he would be a changed man for his next healthy relationship that I hope he had.
Yeah. I hope you're single and loving it and having a good time.
I am.
Good.
The DMs are open.
The DMs are open.
I would say for you guys, you know, you guys not knowing until the very last minute, that was probably one of the biggest surprises of the finale episode to me.
I have no clue what's gonna happen. We've gone through a lot of conflict.
We're hours away and I still don't have a decision. I don't want to be hurt by someone that I love again.
You know, are there things that you guys fell in love with each other in the pods over that have bloomed and taken themselves further, you know, since you guys have gotten married?
Yeah, we started off our relationship always laughing, but making each other comfortable to open up more. And I expressed it a few times throughout the process that it's not that I don't want to be vulnerable, I just don't know what that means for me personally.
Yeah.
And that's one of the main reasons why I fell in love with Matt, because I felt so comfortable and I never felt that before with another person.
Yeah.
So just building on that relationship, or building on that communication and keep building on that, that's what's really blossomed into our marriage now. And any time now that we run into conflict, the first thing that comes out of Matt's mouth is, how do we compromise on this? Let's talk it out. And I applaud and I thank the Love is Blind process for helping us. We would have never met on the outside world. and we would have never built this strong communication that we have now.
Nancy, you wrestled with a lot while the show was happening. Bartise, saying that he was attracted to Raven, the abortion conversation. Do you look back at this experience and say, you had regrets, or do you look at it and say, like, you made the right decision all the way through?
In the moment, it was the right decision. Looking back at Bartise's perspective and the things that he was interviewing and saying about and talking to the boys about, I wish he was having those conversations with me. And so I think had he opened up and told me his doubts throughout the last 2 weeks, then my answer would have been different, because it was 2 weeks before the wedding. I told him I was going to say no, and he wanted a second chance, which is what he did.